Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to episode 18 of All the Gear But No Idea. This week we've got a real special for you. We've got David Basham, the Minister for Primary Industries, and we've got Mark Mills, an absolute true champion in every sense of the word, founder and runner of the Onka Stompa every year. Rhodey, great to be joined by Chief. How are you?
Yeah, good mate. It's been a good couple of weeks. How you been, Diz?
It's been a great couple of weeks. Big weekend of sport last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, bloody Dusty Martin was great, wasn't he?
Cox play. Yeah, you were fangirling around Dusty like no tomorrow, weren't you?
Don't forget the rugby league.
Yeah, the rugby league was good.
Peter Volandi's eating your heart out.
It was great. Yeah, we've got a great episode this week, Rhodey. Couple of guests. We like our double guest episodes.
It is. Millsy's he's done a lot for the Childhood Cancer Association through the Onka Stompa, which is a great event. Yes. And Basham has been someone we've been trying hard to get on since he took over from Minister Whetstone a few months ago.
Yes, it was great of him to join us, and we've hit him up with some questions from all the listeners as well as some of our own. But first, Rhodey, let's get stuck into the oranges and lemons, mate. What's been happening? What's your orange?
Well, we nipped in and saw Brad down at North Bank over the weekend, didn't we?
Great guy.
And he looked after us.
Good operators down there.
Yeah, good place. Gave us a couple of caps, a couple of stubbies, nice little t-shirt.
Yeah.
So it's
the only place to go if you're sort of in the hunt for a North Bank boat.
Yeah, and they also stocked the Stabicraft 1850 Fisher that we're heavily into.
Yeah, geez, it'd be nice.
So I think that's probably my orange, chatting with the boys about the new boat.
Yeah, fantastic.
What do you got, Diz?
Well, look, mate, we were looking at the weather for Saturday, weren't we? Keeping a close eye on it.
Yeah.
And there was nothing happening, but I tell you what, if you're not out there fishing, then one thing you do want to be doing is looking at fishing gear and fishing boats, and that's what we did. We got down to the boat show, and it was good to be out there.
Yeah, we did.
My lemon, though, mate, yes, big weekend on the punt for the boys in the Punters Club.
Yeah, how'd we go?
Oh, geez, I was flat. The Fraser's 15th leg of the multi didn't come off.
Yeah, look, who are we on today? We're on the NFL.
Unbelievable. The Cardinals
and it didn't quite come good. The Seattle Seahawks couldn't quite get it done.
The Cardinals knocked them off in overtime. It was an absolute heartbreaker.
I've never heard you to show any interest in the NFL.
Oh, I'll normally keep up with it. What was your lemon, big man?
All right, now my lemon was, so the AFL, we're big fans of the AFL, aren't we? We always make a big day of grand finals. So when they decided this year was going to be a nighttime grand final, what do you do during the day?
You got to get the boat wet, don't you?
Yeah, look, the weather was good all week, and nighttime grand final, freed up the Saturday, and the wind blew in. It was bloody blowing a gale. All we wanted to do was go out to Brighton and get a feed of squid.
Shock me.
So that wasn't the highlight.
It wasn't. Well, I tell you what, I reckon that wind would have blown a bloody All the Gear But No Idea hat off your top lid there, mate, if you were out and about.
Oh, I sure would have, mate. Luckily, they're adjustable, so you can tighten them over your head.
Yeah, they are really good hats, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, I've barely taken mine off, actually.
Yeah, good call.
And the stubbies, they're going well?
Stubbies are going great.
And that'd be a good Christmas present for, your old man or your boss or something like that.
They're a good stocking filler, aren't they?
Yeah, I reckon you should all get on.
Yeah, absolutely you should.
So get in contact if you do want a hat or a stubby holder. They are still in stock, but we are getting through them pretty well.
Yes, we are. All right, Rhodey, last episode, I'll be the first to admit I lacked on the finer details of some of the news, so I've handed the reins back to you.
You reckon the finer details or all the details?
Finer details mainly. But please, give us the fishing news for this week. There is a lot going on.
Yeah, so we touched on this one probably 2 or 3 episodes ago. Port Pirie had a fishing ban put in place after high levels of heavy metals were found by the EPA. Mm-hmm. So that was a 12-month ban that was put in place in September this year.
Yes.
So the testing is ongoing,
Yeah.
But they have made the decision that in the meantime, you can now catch and release fish.
Okay.
So originally it was no fishing.
Right.
Now they've said no keeping fish.
Okay.
So catch and release in Port Pirie is back on the agenda in both the northern and the southern zone from the previous ban.
Very good.
So that's good news for the locals up at Pirie.
It is. It's excellent. What heavy metals do they check for?
Oh, it's a range of things, range of different chemicals and metals and all that sort of gear, mate.
Okay.
Just go back a couple of episodes and I think I listed them.
It seems as though you might have skipped out on the finer details there for mine.
Seems a bit like you're being a bit picky after your ordinary effort last week.
Move on. Ozfish fish screens.
I think this was one we might have mentioned previously as well. I think Lee Van Soest and
Yes.
Mick Wilson had some sort of involvement promoting the fish screens. So there's been a new website set up by Ozfish that showcases best practice fish screen management to help Aussie farmers save money, time and water while protecting native fish. So this website's an information hub, so it's a collaboration between senior fisheries scientists, all types of water users, manufacturers, university researchers, engineers, anglers and conservation managers.
Jeez. Number of people in the room there.
Yeah, so pretty well, the goal is to provide the best information on screens and help farmers and those sort of people figure out what they need to put in and what's best for them.
Okay.
So I had a bit of a look on it. It had, a list of different local businesses and farms that have put in the fish screen, so you can find out what they chose, what products they're using, what worked for them, some pros and cons.
Okay.
And information from all the different screen providers to help farmers find what works best for them.
Okay. So it's a bit of a guide out there.
Yeah, it's just a bit of it's like you're if you're in the
Bit of a
fish screen
resource
market,
hub.
it's like the white pages really.
Okay.
You go in there and you see all the information, get all the contacts, figure out what's best for your particular setup.
I like it when you come up with an analogy like that.
It's good. I was always a big fan of the white pages back in the day.
Good man. All right. Well, this next story, mate. Fantastic news. The Stephen Marshall Liberal government, $40 million committed for the state for the 2021 state budget. For
Do you want to try those numbers
jetties.
again, or
Just a lot of 20s? Yeah. It's good news, though, isn't it, big man?
Yep. So they've put in $20 million over 3 years to upgrade jetties and boat ramps,
Yes.
creating 80 jobs, they reckon.
Good news.
So the boat ramps are Anxious Bay, which we had to find out a bit about that. That's over near Elliston. Never been there. O'Sullivan Beach and also West Beach are the boat ramps that are copping a bit of cash.
Yep.
And the Cape Jarvis and Coffin Bay jetties, as well as the Streaky Bay shelter.
They won't be putting any money into the Whale jetty, will they?
It's
They've done
state of the
enough
art,
that.
mate. State of the art.
They've done enough of that.
But certainly good to see the government putting a bit of money into the Reco fishing types.
Oh, yeah. It's great, mate. It's excellent.
And we're looking forward to hearing about that from David Basham shortly.
Yes, fantastic. And we'll look forward to getting down to those boat ramps once they fix them up.
Yeah, well, you work down that way, so you'll be nicking down to O'Sullivan's Beach in your lunch break to keep us updated on the progress, I'm sure.
Absolutely, mate. The YouTube channel's running hot, so we'll do a bit of a how-to on launching your boat or something like that.
All right, what do you got for us next, mate?
Well, the Seafood Advisory Forum have been getting their heads together, haven't they, Rody?
Yeah, so this is another new thing that has been set up. So the government has put together a Seafood Advisory Forum that's planning on mapping out the next 10 years of seafood growth in the state.
Wow.
So it's independently chaired by Catherine Cooper. So she had a career as a corporate lawyer and has had a number of senior executive positions and has served on an extensive portfolio of about 50 board roles over 18 years. So this is another project that Minister Basham has got behind. And it's really good to see us protecting the seafood industry in the state, because it is something that South Australia is well renowned for.
It's great, mate. It's fantastic. And while I'm at it, that's a heck of a lot of board roles.
Yeah, busy. She's a busy lady, Catherine Cooper.
Busy on the boards. Excellent.
So there's 19 members of this forum across the different areas of the fishing industry. The first meeting is on October 28th. And it's good to hear that 2 members of the MARFAC will be included on the panel.
Yeah, that's really good. That is
So
really
good to hear the recos are getting a bit of a say on the seafood in the state.
Excellent, excellent. All right, and last bit of news before we get to the Minister himself. The SA Callop Championships held in Morgan. There were plenty of photos nipping around on Facebook, weren't they, Rhodey?
Yeah, they must have done pretty well over the weekend, I reckon. So, Tucker Time Lures. The team made up of Heath Bassett and Darren Uren took out the prize. Darren also won the Big Fish Award with a 2.42 kilo callop.
Yes.
Not
Wow.
bad.
Absolutely.
And in the kayak division, Alex Williams, he took that out and also won the Fishing Guru sponsored Big Fish Award with a 40.5 centimetre callop.
Geez, we love it. The Dan, the man, the fishing guru gets around that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. He's a good fella, Dan, and he was the major sponsor of that particular part of the contest.
And the Fishing Guru gear is excellent.
Yeah, look, I think there's some chat you're keeping him in business.
Oh, how can you not, mate? His gear's so good.
And look, if any of you guys at home have seen Dizzy try and tie a rig, you'd know why he keeps Dan busy.
Horrible call.
Nah, I like it.
On that sour note, mate, why don't you introduce Minister Basham?
Okay, thanks very much, David Basham. We've got David on the line here. How are you, David?
I'm very good, thanks.
So David is the member for Finnis, which is down the Victor Harbour Way. He's a dairy farmer by background, and he's recently been appointed to the Cabinet as the Minister for Primary Industries and Regional Development.
How'd he go, David? Is he on the money there?
Yeah, no, all good.
Thank you very much for joining the show. We really do appreciate it, and we are looking forward to getting some insights from you with how everything's going. But David, we would like to start with your own fishing prowess. How do you go when the rod and reel's in hand? Do you enjoy it?
I do like fishing, but I'm particularly bad at it. I really get very excited when I get a fish on the line, but it doesn't happen very often.
Don't worry, mate. You're in the same boat as Diz.
You've come on the right show.
All right, David. So first thing we wanted to chat to you about is the MARFAC. So you've got some new members that have come on board. Have you met with them, and where are you at with the MARFAC?
No, they're meeting very shortly.
Yep.
I'll catch up with them their first meeting this week. So we'll touch base with them at that meeting. So very exciting. I've got appointed an independent chair just to help them with their governance and help them with the flack that's been around that surrounded the MARFAC previously. So Sharon Starrick, she's a very highly qualified chair. She's worked in the livestock industry, for example. Animal Health Australia, she chairs that organisation, which is a national body looking after health issues with livestock right across the country. So she's certainly well credentialed in that regard. But they're very much as an independent with no fishing background at all. But they're just to help making sure the process runs smoothly.
And David, do you think that having the independent chair will help things sort of progress along and keep things ticking in the right direction?
I think it would just take away I guess the individualness of the way it has sometimes been operating. It'll let it run as a team. We'll have a chair that's able to speak on behalf of the group, and she will certainly listen and get everyone involved to make sure we get everything out of them we can, because that's the most important thing, that we actually have them consulting their networks and bringing views forward and making sure those views are well heard.
Yeah, absolutely. We touched on this in our last episode a few weeks ago, and you've definitely brought some really great individuals to the table with the MARFAC and some well-balanced views there, I'm sure, across a lot of different sectors in the recreational fishing space. So that's excellent. I'm sure you'll look forward to their opinions. And so tell us about, there's been a recent announcement on a large investment from the government around boat ramps and jetties. Is that something you'll be consulting the MARFAC on, or we're going ahead with that now, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, there's some projects that have already been announced in that regard, and they're projects that's been well supported by rec fishers and professional fishers alike right across the state to make sure that we get upgrades in some of these facilities. So it's great to see that investment there. Yes, there are certainly some works that need to be done, and it's great to see them happening.
Yes, it's certainly good to see some money going into the industry and supporting the recreational anglers, because it is a big interest of the state. On that sort of money side of things, where are we at with the rec license? We had the survey sort of quite a few months ago now. Where are we at with the results of that, and what do you think is going to happen next in that regard?
That's very much in the, I'll take my advice from industry. It's not something that I'm looking to implement. It's something, if industry think that's the way forward, then they need to bring that case to me. And it's certainly something the MARFAC will very much have to consider if that's what they want to do or not, to put a case towards that sort of licence structure.
So did we get a result, David, from that survey, that large survey that went out?
I don't have that detail in front of me, and that was before me being in this role, but it's something that certainly MARFAC can pull back up and consider if they wish, as they do their strategic planning going forward for the rec sector, to make sure that we have a vibrant, viable rec sector out there. All these things need to be considered by them, and they'll come with their view and bring it to me. It's one of the first things I've asked them to do going forward, is to come up with this strategic plan. So it'd be great to see what they come up with.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good to hear what the outcome of all that is, and hopefully now we do have a MARFAC back operational. We get a bit of progress on all of that, which is good to hear.
Exactly. It's so important that we get the views of the rec fishing sector out there and bring them back, so that we can make some good decisions on their behalf.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of questions from some of our listeners, David, if that's okay.
Sure.
So Brett off Instagram, he's asked us, do you know if commercial net fishing for kingfish is only allowed in South Australia? Is that allowed in other states, do you know?
I'm not aware, but I guess just a bit of background around the kingfish story. We've done a little bit of work to see what's been happening in this space since the stories have been in the media. What we've seen is, since July, there's been 4.5 tonne of yellowtail kingfish sold in the market here in SA.
Yeah.
Which is from the wild catch commercial sector. So that this is the time of year when they do their fishing for this, because this is when they divert their effort to this space.
Yeah.
Because of where the fish are around, and it's a relatively easy thing for them to target this time of year. In comparison, so that may be all they end up catching for the year or thereabouts. In comparison, back in, which is some data that we have from previous years, is that 199 tonnes was caught by the recreational sector in a year. And so that shows that this is a very small proportion of what's actually caught. This 4.5 tonne is less than about 2.5%.
Yes, yeah, okay, because I think it's obviously been all throughout the news, and been a number of different opinions thrown around, and I suppose some of our listeners have certainly written into the podcast about the recreational sector more broadly not being terribly happy, and that's really good for our listeners, David, for some sort of background there to the issue that's been happening. I suppose this is something that might go to the MARFAC sort of for a bit of a review to get some more information on and sort of come up with a plan moving forward, or what do you think about that?
Well, I guess we need to actually, as I said, just take a bit of a breath. We don't need to react to just one bit of footage that we saw on social media. We have to actually understand what's going on.
Yes.
So yes, we need to understand, and we'll continue to monitor the commercial catch, as we always do, to see if there are any big changes in any a species being caught. So we'll do that as fishers, commercially, fish processors and the commercial fishers both report to PIRSA their catch monthly. So we get that data coming in. And there's also something that's new that's out there, and that's a rec survey starting in November, so that we know what's going on in that space as well, which will feed into the story as well. So we'll know have a much better idea going forward what's been caught and if there are any issues.
So that rec survey you're talking about, will that mean you've now going to have a better understanding of, you talked about I think you said 190 tonne of kingfish recreationally. Will that make these statistics more accurate? Is that the idea behind that?
That's the idea, is to get some more current, more accurate data so that we have a great idea of what's being caught out there. It's something that's certainly been asked for, is an understanding of what's been caught by the rec sector in any particular species, and this will just be a useful tool to help us understand what's going on in the fisheries generally.
Yeah, and can you tell us how that's going to work? Are you going to survey people at boat ramps or get people? How are they going to find that data?
Yeah, it's still being designed at this process, but it's using new technology, apps and things like that will allow us to do it in a relatively cheap manner, but get good results as well.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great use. Nice to use the technology and play it into our favour sometimes to get some better results these days. It's great.
Yes. Yeah.
David, we are aware that there's total allowable commercial catches for the top 4 species: gar, snapper, squid, and King George.
Yes.
The other species, is there sort of additional measures being put in place for some of those other species to ensure that they're sort of kept in good numbers?
Well, I guess that, as I was saying, the work that's been done to monitor the fishing numbers coming in from the fishers and the fish processors at a commercial level, as well as this survey, will help us understand whether there's any significant changes happening in any particular species.
Yeah.
So we'll actually have a grasp of that. And we've got the marine scale fisheries reform going on at the moment, and that will introduce tax, if needed, for species as we see any significant movement.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have a look at those species and do the work required to underpin their future going forward.
Yeah. It's good to hear that we're keeping an eye on all of the species, because I suppose that was the concern out of the snapper ban, that it was going to put a lot of pressure on some of the other species.
Yeah, I mean, we do take this very seriously, that we need to make sure that the fisheries that are out there are sustainable. As you said, we don't want snapper bans being rolled out elsewhere. That's a very sad situation to have got into, but we have to get that one fixed. And stop all the others getting in there if that's what we need to do.
Just another question we've got from one of our listeners, David, is it's sort of relating again to the kingfish, but it's talking about how in this particular scenario, the recreational sector is obviously not happy with all the outrage on Facebook. The commercial sector's also not happy because they're getting a lot of, negative backlash about the kingfish, fisheries and all that sort of thing. Do you think this the better data that we're starting to collect can help to, educate the public and trying to get a bit more agreeance and a bit more, the commercials and the recos on a bit more on the same page? Is that sort of the idea behind some of that?
Yeah, I'm very much wanting to bring those sectors of the same fisheries together. Everyone's out there using the same resource, and it's very much they need to work together in this space to make sure we're sustainable. We all need to work together. It's not a competition between the recs and the commercials. It's actually making sure that we have a great outcome for the fisheries, so they're sustainable there for everyone. Because everyone needs to have a part of this. And so, I really want to make sure that they understand that they're actually allies in this space protecting their fisheries, rather than, sometimes it appears that they might think them as enemies. That's the last thing they need to be working as enemies in this space. They need to be working as joint custodians of the fishery.
Yeah, fantastic. It's really good to hear, David. Thank you for that. And we've had a few listeners over the past sort of discuss about managing fish stocks moving forward, in particular around enforcement officers and increased penalties for those who flout the law. We certainly do like to discuss some news stories that are released by PIRSA for heavy fines for people who do the wrong thing, because we we think it's good advocacy for people to make sure they follow the catch restrictions, etc. Is there anything happening in that space in particular about increasing enforcement officers or discussing penalties? Is that something that's on the agenda for MARFAC, or have you got any insight there that we can provide the listeners?
Well, I mean, as you said, it's very important that we make sure people do the right thing. I think it's very much important that everyone involved in the fishery also make sure other people within the fishery are doing the right thing. I very much encourage people, if they see something that they don't think's right, either report it or even challenge the person in front of them doing what they consider the wrong thing. Yeah. Often it might be through ignorance that some people are doing the wrong thing, so pointing it out to them politely is also important. So, I think that we need to work together to make sure that we are all making sure this is sustainable for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly we're all on the same page as that, and it's good to hear that you are, certainly on board with that. Last one we've got for you, David, another one off the social media from one of our listeners. After an update on the metro spearfishing, I think there was a review in place and whether or not some more zones would be opened up for those wanting to go out and catch a feed.
That's certainly something that's come out of the MARFAC, and they've called for a review into the spearfishing closures off Adelaide, and that review's now underway, so waiting for that to come back to us to see what it is, and they'll go to MARFAC for them to come with recommendations to me, if there are some, to see what can be done in this space. So I think it's a great outcome that MARFAC's, this is one thing that's certainly been delivered by MARFAC.
Fantastic. David, that's wrapping everything up for us today, and you've been very generous with your time. We appreciate it very much. It's fantastic to hear that really, your goals are to collect more information and make sure we're getting the right information out there to protect this fantastic fishery for now and generations to come. So we appreciate your insights, and thanks again for your time.
Happy and enjoy your fishing out there, everyone.
Thanks a lot, David.
Thanks, cheers.
Great to be joined by Minister Basham this episode, Brody, wasn't it?
Yeah, good to get an insight, and I'm looking forward to personally hearing about how they're going to get better data on the rec fishing numbers.
Yep.
Because that's a big part of this whole argument about the kingfish and the snapper and all these other things about who's taking what and where the total catch goes. That was 190 odd.
Yeah.
Ton that he talked about of kingfish recreationally. Seems like a lot, and I'd like to know just how they take those numbers.
Yeah.
So when we get a bit further on with this, I think he was talking about an app, we'll be sure to keep you updated on that. But that's what I'm sort of looking forward to hearing.
I'd be worried that your numbers would be pretty false if you were recording your catch on the app, mate. It would be a big fat zero, I reckon, most of the time.
Nah, that's not true, mate. If we go back to your most recent fishing trip, you spent 5 days out there getting donuts.
You did well.
Mate, you were there for a week and you got like 7 whiting.
It got out once.
Anyway, look, let's keep moving.
All right, straight into the fishing report, Rhodey. There's a bit going on here, but we're going to whip through it. So, a couple of important dates coming up before too long, because as I'm sure you'll be aware, the 31st of October is the last day of the Pippi season ban. So,
yeah, and I'm looking forward to getting down there and getting a few. Filling up the freezer, because I think we're down to our last bag or two.
Yeah, we do. We're going to need some before KI. And I agree. We're going to get down there, get the nets in.
Do a couple of evening trips after work.
Yep.
Daylight savings.
Good little day trip if the weather's playing the game.
Maybe buy a bit of fish and chips and sit on the beach.
Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, very good. And while we're on it, 1st of November, Northern Cray Zone opens.
Yeah, we're going to get the diving gear on and go get a few of them, aren't we, ball man?
You'll be happy.
You're going to do your diving licence after 17 years of talking about it?
Pez was talking up a big game of doing that in the next month, so we might jump on board.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I think you're scared or something, mate.
I'm a little nervous. All right, a little bit of a family friends story here about bagging out over in Edithburgh a couple of times over a week or so. That was a good catch of King George.
Yeah, glad you added that because you didn't tell us what they were fishing for, so good you added that in at the end.
It's good. King George, great table food.
Yeah, so still plenty of whiting kicking around. What else, Diz?
Absolutely. Well, we talked about the Callop comp down in Morgan, which you're a great fan of the show, Dan Way, the fishing guru. as a major sponsor, and there was lots of big callop caught.
Yeah, and I also heard Alex Williams, who took out the Fishing Guru kayak division prize.
Yes.
He caught a Murray cod on the first day.
Oh, excellent. Good going.
Yeah, you're not allowed to target him this time of year, though.
No, you're not.
But he was obviously going for callop, and it was by-catch, but still a good catch nonetheless.
That's a good bycatch.
Certainly is.
Be happy with that. All right, Rody. Certainly no reports of tuna, but is this about the time of year where you do your annual tuna dance, try and bring them on the chew?
I think it won't be long before the first couple of reports of the local tuna coming in.
Okay.
Often we first hear about them over on Eyre Peninsula, and then they make their way across to the Victor grounds a little bit after that.
Yes.
So I'll be keeping my ear to the ground because they won't be far off.
Yeah, excellent. We just need that water temp to get up a bit more, don't we?
Yeah, get on the app that shows the water currents.
Yes.
That's what we're all about.
Very good. All right, well, plenty of crabs. They're thick off the metro jetties, aren't they?
They
Went
are.
down there for dinner the other week and a few buckets full of blue swimmers.
Yeah, netting off the jetty.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about, I've also seen off a few of the metro jetties, I think SA Angler, good friends down there, Shane Mensforth and the crew.
Yes.
They've shared some great photos of some bronzies off some jetties.
Ooh.
So as the weather warms up, you start to see these summer species, the tuna and the blue swimmer crabs and the bronzies, they're all starting to fire.
Yeah, good.
So that's what we've got to look forward to in the coming months.
Absolutely. I've also seen some really good reports of some decent sized yellowfin coming in from the sort of York Peninsula shallows.
Yeah, good eating too.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Talking about Shane Mensforth, they were his catch of choice, weren't
Yeah,
they?
he loves them. Absolutely loves them. All right, well, that wraps up the fishing report, Rody. Not a lot there.
Oh, look, there's a little bit. The weather probably hasn't been great the last couple of weeks, so that's probably kept a little bit of a lid on things in the fishing report department.
But one thing we are certainly looking forward to now is having a chat with Millsy.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's chat about the Onka Stompa, Millsy. Okay, welcome to the show, Mark Mills. Mark is the man behind the Onka Stompa competition that's coming up shortly. Mark, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Mark. We love what you're about with the Onka Stompa. It's really good stuff in the 15th year. It's an impressive event, mate, and we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But to start with, we'll get stuck into the 5 questions we ask every guest. So tell us about your best fish, mate.
My best fish was on a get-together for a fishing forum. I got into writing for Fishing SA magazine by the forums, and we had a get-together down at Swan Reach one day.
Yeah.
Just chasing callop. So I was armed with my little 1 to 3 kilo brim rod, little Penn 2000. 5 minutes into fishing, I hooked a 50, 60 pound Murray cod.
Oh, hell. That would have pulled some string, mate.
It certainly did. So it took 23 minutes to land. I had 2 other boats with me as well, so we got it all on video and all the rest of it. So it was a pretty impressive catcher. Something I was lucky to get, and yeah.
That is very impressive. We are jealous of that one, Millsy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, mate.
Yeah,
What's your favourite thing about fishing, Mark?
the thing about fishing is that anyone can do it. It doesn't matter your age, your profession, how much money you earn. Anyone can grab a rod and go for a fish. I like spending time, obviously, outdoors with my family and my friends. Combine it with a couple of beers, it goes really well as well. But just getting in the outdoors and being off screens. Too many youngsters are on the screens these days, so I'm right into the outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't agree anymore. It's, I suppose, when you're a bit of a diehard like all of us, it's what you live for, really, and you've been brought up that way, and you just get stuck into it. It's fantastic,
No,
mate.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just being out doing it, and the fish is just a bonus. It's just being out there, the outdoors, the sunrises, the sunsets, everything that goes along with it, it's like a whole package. So
Yeah, you're dead right there. And Mark, what was your first fishing memory, mate, or what got you into fishing? Was that sort of something you were handed down to by your parents, or what happened?
Well, when I was young, I grew up at Meningie until I was 9 years old. So back in the day, it was quite safe to go out and ride your bikes around and, do all that sort of stuff. So I used to ride the old bike down Princess Highway, head to Lake Albert, chase the carp there.
Yeah.
And then, my uncle used to take me to Rapid Bay as a youngster as well. And I remember there one time falling asleep on the jetty because I was quite young and waking up to a starfish on the foot. So that's one of those stories that sticks with you until I'm 50 now, so it still sticks with me. So, and that's what fishing trips do, you know, it gives you stories and memories. So, yeah.
Certainly does. That's what it's all about. And Millsy, what's your favourite sort of fishing and why?
Definitely being out on the boat. I just love being out in the water. I love the tranquility. It's like a different world out there. You know, whether it's just 1, 2, 3 people in a boat, it's you're away from the world, doing your own thing. And I like the little solo trips out the boat by myself, and I can sit on the ground for hours without any pressure to be put on a fish. However, I love sitting down Salt Creek for a couple of nights camping, chasing those big boys, you know.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than getting down on the beach and chasing after some of those silver ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Millsy, you must have had a funny fishing story somewhere along the line if you're into a few nights camping down at Salt Creek.
Oh, I've got it. Mate, if you've been fishing for a long time, everyone's got the funny stories. I've done a lot of fishing around the Onka Stompa, and I've got a few stories there where one year I was fishing with a guy that had leukemia. He suddenly sadly passed away, but he had a good laugh at me doing the old wasp dance with the European wasps going under the old cap and just kept going me. Also done the Onk dance many times. Anyone that fishes the Onk has done the Onk dance. If they say they haven't, they're a liar. But probably the funniest was fishing in the Port River with a mate. I was used to fiberglass boats. We were coming into Garden Island, and being used to fiberglass being nice and stable, I thought, I'll just step up on the side of the boat and up onto the old pontoon, and bang in the water I went because the boat tipped. It didn't tip completely, but the side sort of went out from under me, and I went up to the water in front of a family launching their nice yachts.
There's always someone watching when that sort of thing happens.
Oh, there is. I didn't have my phone in the pocket, so that was a bonus.
Happy days. Happy days.
All right, Millsy, thanks for those answers for us, mate. Now we'll move on to the Onka Stompa. So as Dizzy mentioned, I think you're up to your 15th edition this year, raising money for the Childhood Cancer Association. And we also read you won the Onka Stompa Community Event of the Year in 2018. So it sounds like you've had a lot of success with it, Millsy.
Yeah, no, it's been a good ride. So.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. It's excellent. We love that it's about a great cause and brings the community together. So massive pat on the back and round of applause to yourself and everybody who's been involved. Mate, tell us about the day. Tell us about the event, what usually unfolds.
Okay, so it started 15 years ago as a get-together from a website. It's sort of built into a big competition since then. It's all about a good morning out with family, with friends, raising money for a cause. I don't treat them, and I don't expect anyone that rolls up to treat the competition too seriously. And if you have a look at my Facebook page, I actually say there that if you're grumpy or want to take the competition too seriously, just please stay at home. We don't want you there. But yeah, it's just about having a fish, raising money for the cause. Couple of years there, we've had 3 generations of family fishing together.
How good.
Whereas, you know, the lad, the dad, and then granddad's all fishing side by side. And yeah, just about having fish, lots of giveaways, and raising obviously money for childhood cancer, which is highly important.
Yeah, no, it's great to have obviously an amazing cause like that to get a lot of money for. How much have you raised over the years, Millsy? You got any idea of the total?
I don't know the overall total. I'd like to find that out down the track. But in 2017, I raised $25,500. 2018 went to $32,708. Last year in 2019 jumped up to $45,865.
Wow.
And this year I'm aiming at hitting 50,000. So
that's a huge amount of money. Well done.
That is unbelievable, mate. That is a fantastic effort.
Thanks. I also stated on my Facebook page that if we break the record this year for the 15th year straight, that the event will go for 5 more years because I'll commit myself to running it. Yep. So we'll make it to 2025, make 20 years of the event.
Yeah, great.
Geez, mate, I know you'll be pushing over 100 grand by then, I reckon, with the way you're going.
Yeah, well, it was 105,000 for the last 3 events in total. So.
Yeah, mate, that is unbelievable. Fantastic work. We absolutely love that. You must have some regular sponsors and donors. Is that sort of what it's built upon, do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. Probably 80% of my sponsors come back on board each year.
Yeah, fantastic.
Which is highly important to those guys that have been on. And every year you have gains, you have losses. I said I'm really busting your gut to hit this target of 50,000 this year, which will commit to another 5 years.
Yeah.
But after this year, I'm not chasing any more records. I've sort of got to step back a little bit and get my own fishing time back. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Tell us about yourself, Millsy. You catch many fish down the Onka yourself. Obviously, having the competition there, we expect you're a bit of a guru.
Oh yeah, I've been fishing the Onka for a lot of years. At the moment, my fishing time has been a bit restricted with trying to build the Onka Stompa bigger, and I'm also been pushing for a boat ramp upgrade at Sullivan's Beach.
Yeah.
So I've been campaigning for that for over 2 years. That's taking time up, with meetings on my days off and things like that with Katrina Gilgard MP, Coast Guard and other interested parties. So, not fishing as much as I'd like. But I said after this Stompa gets through, I'm going to fish my butt off.
Something to look forward to once it's all done.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and have there been any particularly memorable catches, anything amazing that someone's pulled out of the water on one of these fishing days, Millsy?
The Onka Stompa, the two heartwarming stories is about 6 years ago. A 10-year-old girl got the overall winning mulloway at 72 centimetres.
Oh, it's pretty good going.
She caught it. Oh yeah, she caught it on a brim rod and a bit of bloodworm. That was at 9:30 in the morning. She didn't want to fish after that. She wanted to hang around the registration area, around the board, and
see what came in.
Oh yeah, everyone around the area wanted to see her pull through, and she did.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago, a 10-year-old girl, similar circumstances, came outfit, bit of bloodworm, hooked the equal winning 76.5 centimetre mulloway.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I have a rule in the comp that you've actually got to beat the fish on the board. You can't equal it. Otherwise, the first fish on the board wins on countback as such.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
However, we had a rod and reel left on the 4-star tail. We put a bit of a package together, and a friend of mine printed up a certificate and dropped it to her place 2 weeks later, and got her photo on the Facebook page and in Fishing with Fame magazine. So she ended up wrapped after all that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's some amazing fish and no doubt some really good memories for a lot of people who have been involved. And I've got no doubt that's why the event keeps being such a great success. And, mate, I'm sure this year's going to be bigger and better than ever. What do you most look forward to for the Onka, mate? Is it just sort of getting everybody together? I suppose we've had such a tough year with COVID. A lot of people have probably gone through some uncertainty in their life. I suppose this will be a way to take their mind off it, or is there something else you look forward to?
Oh no, absolutely. It's not about, like I said, it's a good day out for the family, and it's a good day raising money for a good cause. So there's not too many people that I don't know that have been affected by cancer.
Yeah.
It's bad enough seeing adults go through it. Kids haven't lived; they shouldn't have to go through that. So any help I can give towards making their lives better is a good thing. And like I said, it's just become a community event where people like to come and just have a good time and for a good cause.
Yeah, certainly great to see money going to, as you say, one of the really good causes out there.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing we noticed you're quite involved in is the Fishing SA magazine. You're a regular contributor.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that. Have you got any particularly memorable stories you've written or anything like that?
Yeah, I've had quite a few 5-page features in there, but I haven't sort of done that over circumstances over the last couple of years. But I'm proud that I'm the last of the original columnists for when it started in the early days. But yeah, I just, as I said, I love the fishing. I love helping people fish, although I'm not getting out as much as I'd like. I work in a tackle shop and I write for the magazine, and I really like helping people catch more and better fish. have a better time doing it. So
Yeah, no, certainly. We try and share a little bit of our knowledge. Not that we've got much to contribute through the podcast, Millsy, but it is great for people like yourself who have been there and done that and caught plenty of fish to share their knowledge, whether it's in the magazine or however it is.
Absolutely. I share 85% of what I know. There's that 15% you keep close to the chest. You know what I mean?
All right, Millsy, thanks a lot for your time and thanks for coming on. Just for everyone at home, so the competition's on Sunday the 8th of November.
Correct.
7 till 12 and then presentations?
That is correct. So
Yeah, down at...
via donation to childhood cancer, what you want to donate. I don't have a set fee, and 95% of people do the right thing when they pay their entrance fee because of the cause. And lots of giveaways, barbecue, for sale table. My mate runs animal relocation education, so we have a few pythons, probably a freshwater croc, and a few other animals to have a bit of a play with.
That'll keep the young ones interested.
Oh yeah, the adults love it as well. Time FM will be broadcasting live. Amelia Mulcahy from Channel 7 will be there again, as will a few of my politician friends. Yeah. And it'll be a good day out. So.
No, it sounds like it's going to be a really good day again, Millsy, and congratulations on all that you've achieved through the Onka Stompa, all the money you've raised, and it's great to hear that all things going to plan, you'll be going at it for a bit longer.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Millsy. Really appreciate your time and all the best.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
All right, dears, that was great to hear from Millsy all about the Onka Stompa.
Oh, Millsy, what an absolute champion, raising all that money for children's cancer.
That really is a lot of money, isn't it? What do you say? Crack the $100,000?
Oh, yeah, well, easily. And if he's gone for 50 grand this year, then we're talking way over 100 grand.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
It's a lot of money, and it's a fantastic thing. So, Onka Stompa weekend, get down there and get your rod in the water. Otherwise, just go and support him. There'll be a barbie there. You can just plenty of action for the kids and the family.
Yeah, it's a great day down there on the Onka and catch a few brim, and that's just a bonus because it's all about raising money for the kids too.
Absolutely, fantastic. All right, well, Brody, as I always say, this is the part of the show where nobody really looks forward to.
What's that, mate? Your average joke?
No, well, look, it's not fantastic this week, but I'm going to put everybody out of their misery by keeping it nice, short, sharp, and shiny.
Righto, mate, hit us with it.
Okay, ready. So I've been thinking about this a bit lately, mate. I'm thinking about starting a boat building business in the attic of my house, and my God, things are going well. They're going very well, mate. And the sales are going through the roof.
I don't know what to say. I think we've hit a new low.
We might have hit a low.
That's that's a bit of a sour note to finish on, really, isn't it? Look, I apologise on behalf of all the gear, but no idea.
You can't be the worst.
I reckon we'll...
until Dan comments saying that's the worst episode, that's the worst joke of any episode, then you still hold that title.
Oh, no, I'm disagreeing with that. That was a stinker.
No, that wasn't too bad.
All right, guys. Great episode tonight. Thanks for joining us. 2 ripping guests in Millsy and Minister Basham. Thanks for coming on, guys. It was a really good episode.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys.
See you later.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.